By the time I've finished putting up a steel structure around that building over there, which I have done in the past, I'm worn out. I haven't got the energy that I need. My question to your friend over there was, the percentage of a vegan diet, how much have I got to supplement for my diet for it to be equivalent to a pure protein diet?
You can get, basically, despite popular belief, you can get every nutrient you need from a plant-based diet, apart from B12.
With taking supplements.
Apart from B12.
Well, you have to take supplements at the same time.
You have to supplement B12. B12 comes from bacteria. The reason
what
you
else
get...
have I got to supplement though?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
The reason
You're telling me that I can work from 4 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night and I'll still get the same energy benefits from a vegan diet as I would from a meat diet.
If it's
Not as in like a full meat diet, because I vary my diet. I have meat and I have salad at the same time.
If it's a healthy vegan diet, you'll have more energy. And in
But
terms of...
what is a healthy vegan diet
It's a
compared
diet-
to a healthy protein diet?
Sure. So
What's the difference between them two? Because
So-
I'm a meat-based eater, and I have been since birth, and nothing will ever change my mind. There's no argument you can say, and I know that vegans also come with an argument of, oh, but how do you feel about slaughtering animals? At the end of the day, cows, pigs, chickens have been bred for the specific reason of eating and producing milk, etc. Do you know what I mean? I've got nothing against people that decide to go for a nut milk diet or a vegan diet, something that supplements the original proteins for a supplement protein, for example. But what's the long-term effects of having a non-protein diet compared to having a protein diet? What's the long-term effects of it?
There's adequate protein in plants. According to the largest dietetic associations in the world, the American Dietetic Association and the British Dietetic Association, you can be healthy on a plant-based diet any stage in your life. So this idea that you need milk for calcium and meat for protein is a myth.
Is it though? Because all you're doing with a vegan diet is supplementing the things that we originally had compared to the things that we do take. Admittedly, all right, a vegan diet would benefit the world in a long-term run because of the EO2 emissions or whatever it is that the cows give.
Yeah, environmental and public health reasons.
Yeah, environmental and public health reasons. All right, yeah, granted, there is a reason for that as you go forward. However, if we are keeping our meat-based diets and all of the things that come relevant with the meat-based diet, i.e. the octane gas that the cows give off when they shit or whatever you want to call it, yeah, what's the benefits weighed up over a long-term effect? Because I know people that...
I completely get what you're saying, but my passionate response back to that is I believe the same thing for so many years, but when you look into the science, you can get every single nutrient that you need from plants apart from B12. B12 is made from bacteria. The reason you don't need to supplement that as a meat eater is because the cow gets injected and supplemented with it. Now we have the choice. It's not back in the day when we needed animal products. We needed it for evolution. It played an important part. Now we have the choice to reduce suffering as far as is possible and practicable. Why not do that?
So your point of view is from choice, yeah? Right, so if choice comes into the matter, in 50, 60 years' time, when choice comes into the matter, and people can't work 12-hour days, they can't spend 12 hours on a building site.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not?
Why wouldn't they be able to?
All right, okay, so if you completely phase out protein-based diets and go for a completely vegan...
There's still protein.
And completely go for a vegan-based diet, varied from a pure protein-based diet. So say if you was looking at it from a meat perspective and a vegetarian perspective, you're going to say, from a meat eater's point of view, you're going to say there's more protein in meat compared to there is in vegetarianism. From your point of view, there's adequate protein in vegetarianism as there is in meatyism, right?
There's less protein, but it's healthier protein, and we don't need as much protein.
So you see that building over there, Leicester Square? Yeah. We're in Leicester Square right now. I don't know if you're recording, but Leicester Square right now, yeah? So say the Marylebone and the McDonald's and the Lego building, whatever else is over there, yeah? Picture that building 4 years ago with a steel structure all the way around it, right? Because I put the steel structure up that did that building. We did a facade retention around that building, right? If I was on a completely vegan-based diet...
You can still do that. I
couldn't
promise
do
you.
that.
I promise you, man.
And do you know how I know I couldn't?
Go on.
Because one of the guys on my team was doing exactly the same thing. And do you know what he was doing? He was going out to the supplement shop just down the road down there and getting supplements so that he could last the same time as someone that was on a meat-based diet.
You can't pick out one example, because then I could say, oh, I knew a meat-eating friend and they became unhealthy, so meat-eating doesn't work. That'll be a stupid argument to make, right? You can't use an anecdote out of context.
What's the benefits over eating meat, over eating pure plant-based?
I'm saying two things. Number one, you can survive and thrive on a plant-based diet.
Yeah.
And number two, our current system and consumption habits are not sustainable. So I'm saying, with that in mind, does it not make sense for us to shift towards a more plant-predominant diet and change the mode of production, not just in food, but in fashion, in clothing, in makeup, and medicine, where we're relying on exploiting animals? That mode of production, the writing's on the wall, it's inefficient, it requires so much input, land, water, energy, and it's outdated. And that's why we have Burger King saying that old way is old school, it's 20th century, and we're going to do something new.
The way we go about things in everyday life is outdated. Everything is outdated. We could be...
But I'm saying you're playing into that old system. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not playing into an old system.
I think you're playing into...
I have a varied diet. I eat salad, I eat lettuce, I eat tomatoes, I eat onions, I eat spring onions, I eat all of the vegetables that I should be eating in a varied diet with my meat diet. Yeah?
I'm saying that is unsustainable.
The whole thing is, it is sustainable. It is
on what?
For the last 1,000 years, it's been sustainable.
Do you not think animal agriculture is a big issue?
I do, yeah.
It's the leading cause of so many environmental ills, right?
I do. But I also think the fact that we produce so much agricultural minerals, and we produce so much as a country, and we sell it offshore, and then we rely on bringing offshore stuff inshore to supply our populace. As in, we buy a lot of wheat and grain and yeast from Ukraine and from Russia, and we buy a lot of oil from Russia, and we buy a lot of other stuff from outside of our country, which is what a lot of people were worried about when we brought the whole Brexit thing into consideration. Yeah, very much so, mate. Your mum and your dad. But I think if we sat down and actually looked at it properly, people like yourself could live your life without having to ask someone like me, what do you think is the best way to live? Because at the end of the day, what I think and what you think is perspective to everything.
What's your perspective on Burger King going vegan?
Honestly, everyone is entitled to their own opinion.
Well, what's your opinion? Honestly, your honest opinion on this big green sign.
Is just because Burger King are making vegan burgers, I'm not going to stop eating there. They still make burgers. The burgers they make are still cooked on the same grill that the vegan burgers are cooked on. They're still housed in the same place that the vegan burgers are housed in. They're still stored in the same freezers that vegan burgers are stored in. So what is the difference to having a vegan burger flamed on a grill that a beef burger is framed on?
Less water needed, no antibiotics, no trees, no deforestation.
But how many books do you own?
Not very many, maybe 20.
How many trees does it take to make 20 books? Nothing's perfect.
Right, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't reduce suffering.
But the whole point of my argument is that you're arguing that green is better.
I think it is, yeah.
I'm not arguing that anything's better.
But I think green is better.
I don't think it is.
Really?
Honestly, I don't think it is. At the end of the day, what we're going to do, we're going to go from meat-based diets to vegan-based diets, yeah? So we're going to go from killing animals to cutting down shitloads of fucking greenery so that we can eat. All right, admittedly, you can grow a lettuce in the same time it takes a calf to come out of its mum.
So animals require so many calories in, they're so inefficient, so you'd actually have less plants killed.
How much land have you got to have to produce enough green for everybody to eat?
Way less than now.
Is it though?
Yeah. So of the total farmland around the world,
okay, so
80. No, wait, hold on. Just hear me out a sec. 83% of farmland is for animal farming at the moment. That produces only 18% of calories. With plant-based, it's more efficient.
A lot of people live how we live because it has been ingrained in us from thousands of years ago.
How do we change that?
Why do you want to change that?
Because our current system's not sustainable.
Is a plant a living thing?
Yes.
Yeah? So a plant is living.
Yes.
Okay, so in theory, everything living has feelings, right?
No. Plants don't have a central nervous system. Animals do.
Let's not get it twisted, bruv. Yeah? That is down to how you feel as a person. I could stand here and cut the head off a pig and feel completely fine.
Would you?
Yeah.
Do you not care about animals?
I do care about animals.
Why would you
I'm
do
not
that?
saying that. I'm not saying that. My perspective is that pig is my food. It's not the fact that you are right and I am wrong, or I am right and you are wrong. It's the fact that both of us have our own views on the situation, because it all comes down to my perspective and your perspective.
My perspective is reduce suffering. That's my perspective, reduce suffering.
Go to fucking Africa and reduce suffering over there. Reduce the fucking shit that we've given them for the last 30 years.
It's kind of hard for us to
Go
do
over
that.
to Syria.
How do you get over there? You can't. But you can change what you eat for breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Your argument's flawed, bruv. You can't just say, oh, you can't get over there because of X, Y, Z's going on, or you can't get over there.
I'm saying it's harder.
Coming on. It's not. It's as hard as me and you getting up in the morning and going to work every day. You can't come out here and ask someone, what's right, veganism or meatism? What do you think about Burger King doing this? Because personally, bruv, like I said before, I don't care what Burger King do. As long as they keep selling burgers that are meat, I'm going to eat there. As long as McDonald's keeps selling burgers that are meat, I'm going to eat there. If they sell plant-based burgers, I don't care. If you only eat plant-based burgers, I don't care, bruv. I really don't give a shit. And it comes down to everyone's perspective on the situation. That's what it is.
What do you think of my perspective?
You're entitled to your views, bruv.
I want to reduce suffering as much as possible and practicable. What do you think about that?
You are entitled to
Do
that.
you have the same perspective?
Not really. I don't. And I'll be honest about it, I don't, mate. Because I will happily stand here and a cow that has been bred to be eaten, I would kill it. A pig that has been bred to be eaten, I would kill it.
I think just because something has been bred into existence, it doesn't really change the reality for the animal. And I think we've got a responsibility in 2022 to think about, the most pressing issues of our time, such as the prospects of antibiotic resistance, climate change, ocean acidification, all those important issues. You can do all of them at once by changing your diet.
How long's veganism been about?
The longest lived cultures historically consumed a predominantly plant-based diet. It's ahimsa, which is non-violence to sentient beings, has been around for a very long time. It's a very basic principle, which is basically, as I said, it's a philosophy or lifestyle that seeks to exclude, as far as is possible and practicable, all forms of animal exploitation. It's very simple. If you're living in Chile and you need meat for survival, then you can eat a little bit of meat or an egg every now and again and still technically be vegan. I'm saying, like, in this society right now of iPhones and supermarkets, we don't need to buy into that system.
But at the end of the day, I'm killing that cow because I need to eat. Yeah?
You don't need to eat that cow.
Do or not?
Watch The Game Changers on Netflix. It's executively produced by James Cameron, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jackie Chan. It's amazingly entertaining and amazingly educational. I think you'll get a lot out of it.
Mate, it's been a pleasure. I do need to go and join my friends though, because I've been stood here for a long time.
What was the film that I mentioned? What was it called? The Game Changers. Please check it out. Honestly, thank you so much.
I'll have a look.
I really appreciate your time, bro.